do you remember last week when they said, you know, RFK, Bobby Kennedy reached out to the Kamala Harris for a job and they turned him down. Do you remember that story, Rob? I don't know if you remember this, Rob. If you can pull it up. Did you see this story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they reached out. Okay, there it is. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tried to meet with Kamala Harris to discuss a cabinet job. And Harris has rebuffed the offer of an endorsement, while Kennedy also had conversations with the Republican nominee Donald Trump about a role in his administration. So I got a question. I'm a guy that considers myself that little bit, I think, from the strategy standpoint and a paranoia standpoint, right? How much of that was truth and how much of that was them knowing that they approached Bobby to see if he had interest? They realized he turned them down. They pissed him off. They said, go straight to the media, say that he came begging to us. We said no because they knew that he was going to publicly endorse Trump 2 weeks before the rest of the world did. How much you think that scenario could be the reality?
Well, I read it a little differently.
Okay.
And part of why I read it differently is something that he said in his speech today, which is he said he had met with everybody. And
He said that.
He said that. So I think.
Oh, wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Now I think.
Got it. Good
point. I mean, I believe I know.
Yeah.
I know the man well enough to say this. I don't think he imagined that the Harris campaign was going to take him seriously. I think he knew exactly what was going to come back. I think it was important to him to have checked off the box and make sure that there's nothing surprising over there. And having done so, he can say, look, I talked to everyone. Why am I endorsing Trump? I'm endorsing Trump because he listens. He's interested in partnering. I got no interest from the Harris campaign. So I can't say that I think that was the right thing to do. My feeling is when you are looking at the Harris campaign, you're not even really looking at the Harris campaign.
Why would you even go talk to the Harris campaign? Like, what are you trying to get out of them?
I wouldn't have.
But why would you even go talk to them? Like, what do you think they're going to tell you? Like, and okay, so then to me then goes to the Democratic Party. Why wouldn't you want Bobby to be on your side?
Oh.
Because he left the party? Because he trash Fauci? Why wouldn't you take him for that additional 3% you're going to get?
I believe this is crystal clear. I mean, for one thing, the Democratic Party, I believe, if they had wanted to win this election as their top priority, could have embraced Kennedy. But it was impossible for them to do that and remain true to their actual current mission. And this is what confuses most Americans. The Democratic Party has a mission, the DNC. So I'm actually a little bit troubled by the fact that we're suddenly calling, the Democratic National Convention the DNC, because the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, is actually a very compromised, corrupt entity that steers the party. And it is distinct from the rank and file voters who have a desire to see the country move one way or another. But anyway, back to the point. The Democratic Party is really two separate entities. It's this steering element, which has objectives that it wants to be accomplished, and it has voters who it needs to persuade both to demand the right things and to vote for it to keep it in power. But it never shares with the voters what the purpose of the policy is. In other words, there's some purpose to us fighting a proxy war in Ukraine. The public doesn't know what it is. We have to guess. It's something about energy. It's something about corruption and sending huge amounts of money somewhere that it can't be tracked. So in any case, the problem is the DNC, if it wanted to win, could go back to the pre-Clinton strategy that the Democratic Party had, which is to serve the interests of average working people. That's a winning strategy, right? There are a lot of working people, of course.
Sure.
But it can't do that if it's serving its real constituents, the things that have captured it.
Right.
So it can't afford to have Bobby anywhere near the party. That's why they shut him out. Not because he wouldn't have been a wise choice for them in the election, but because their real purpose is not the election. Their real purpose is to get through the election, to gain power, and then to peddle it. That's what they do. It's an influence peddling racket, and Bobby Kennedy is a threat to it. So they weren't going to talk to him under any circumstances.
So for those of you guys that are watching this, let me tell you, these USA hats, they don't stay on the shelf. Every time we launch these, they go in a heartbeat. And by the way, if you're happy about Bobby Kennedy coming out and talking about the endorsement and the support and the corruption on the DNC side, and you love America, you love USA, you may not be somebody that wants to wear some other stuff, but you want to wear a hat that says USA and future looks bright, go to the QR code or go to vtmerch.com, order the USA gear and sport it, especially between now and November 5th. These are exciting times. Again, united.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.